I've got my girl Anna. Good morning, everybody. I hope you're all
Good
having a
morning.
wonderful day. I've got Anna here, and we are talking about the weather. Surprise when you wake up with Weather Co-op. She is in the Santa Monica Mountains getting her hike in for today. Anna, talk to us. How's it going?
It is hot, Erica. I feel the UV rays is beating down already. It's not even 8 o'clock yet, and I can feel the heat. I feel like
Yeah, you know what's interesting is that the UV index is high for today. It's at 11. So I can definitely tell that it's going to be an issue as far as people who don't wear sunscreen. So make sure you wear sunscreen because today is one of those days you're going to need it. So how are you feeling right now, though? Like, do you feel like it's definitely you're burning up?
yeah, I feel like apart from the UV feeling really, really intense, I feel like the air feels actually not so bad. It feels like kind of clean, I would say. But the UV, I definitely feel so. I just want to say to all my viewers, make sure that you're wearing a broad spectrum sunscreen today. So the one
Yes,
that battles the UVB and UVA rays.
yes. And you know what? It's love to cut your hair. Love to cut your hair. Sent a request to be in. I mean, I don't know who these people are, but why not? Who is that? I don't know who that is. Like, I don't know who this is. All right, so we're gonna focus here. So yeah, definitely. I don't know if you guys are hearing a little bit of an audio issue. I'm getting some feedback on my side, so I hope you guys aren't getting that. But if you are, make sure you give us an update and let us know in our DM. But Anna, the air quality for today, good news, is at good. So not going to be too much of an issue, especially where you are, but
Right.
it's something that we're going to be tracking very closely for you. So I'm with you on the fact that we see an issue as far as UV indices go, air quality not as bad. That's gorgeous. Tell us, what are you doing today up there?
So I'm just up Mulholland Drive. Topanga Canyon Drive. Up at Topanga Canyon at the Santa Monica Mountains, and it's so beautiful up here, Erica. Like, just check it out. I mean, it's these mountains. So I'm just going on a hike up here, enjoying the beautiful weather. Apart from the UV, it's actually pretty perfect conditions, I gotta say. I'm
It
loving
is,
it.
right?
Yeah, it's nice and quiet here too. I mean, there was just one guy on his bicycle before, but I have the whole place to myself right now, so I'm loving that.
Okay, so like on a day like today, when the UV index is so high and you really feel like you're giving people the best advice and maybe they're not listening, um, what are some tips? Like maybe limit the hours they're out there?
Well,
What do you think as a wellness
firstly,
expert?
protection. So the basics. So wear a hat. You can get a weather co-op hat if you want. They're
Yeah.
pretty cool. Sunglasses, because whether you are aware of it or not, you can actually get some eye damage from the sun, from the UV rays. So
Oh,
wear
yeah.
a really good protective sunwear and sunscreen. So broad spectrum. So anything, I like to go 50 plus with my broad spectrum. So make sure it says broad spectrum on it.
Why does it have to say broad
Ideally,
spectrum?
because that will cover you with the UVA and UVB protection.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
that. That's good
Yes.
to know.
So, and unfortunately, one thing that I've learned in the recent years is that the products in America, the sunscreen products in America, aren't that great compared to European ones, for example, because we have different standards. So uh, they haven't been really updated since, God, the late 90s, which is a little scary. So some of the ingredients don't really even help that much. So
Wow.
if you're in
Okay. So,
Europe,
what are some of
look
the
up.
brands you recommend? European brands.
So, off the top of my head, oh gosh, any that are from like France or Switzerland are really good.
They hit it
Um,
right there.
yeah, even some of the Korean brands actually are pretty good too. So basically, any that are from most European countries are generally going to be much better than American because they just have better standards over there.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting.
So
Yeah,
if
that's
you're
so
if you're
interesting.
on a trip over in Europe, grab me some sunscreen, please.
I feel like we're gonna have to have a European edition of Weather Co-op. But yeah, Anna, I'm looking right over. I'm going to add some wins for those who are looking on our profile, our platforms. And remember, guys, we've already tested the first round, and we're going into the next beta testing round for the app, and it's days away. We know we've been talking about that, but it's a little bit more, I think, labor intensive than some of you may imagine. So there's a lot of testing we have to do. But I do see that there's an onshore influence here. So it looks like it's at least a little bit cooler for today. Right now, you're in the 60s up there.
Mhm.
We just got a marine statement issued, probably for boaters, the usual type of deal, especially
Yep.
this time of the year. Um, but it looks like today's going to be one of the clutch days to be out there because by the end of the week, we're going to see extreme heat coming back in.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Okay. So when you see that kind of heat alert, like a future cast, do you think immediately where my brain goes is, oh, is there going to be fires that are breaking out?
Wait, I'm so sorry. I couldn't hear you. What was that again?
I was saying, like, when we see that the heat is like the future cast that there's going to be extreme heat, I automatically worry about fires.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And especially like where you are. Yeah. I mean, if the wind starts
Yeah,
to pick up, absolutely. Like that could be a really big concern. So, I mean, it's pretty arid. Uh, there's not
exactly.
much
Very
going
dry.
around. Let me
Yeah.
even, while we're here, let me pull up. I've already looked at some of the models, but we'll make it really easy for the viewers. We do have, let's see, we're going to pick up one of these here. I'm going to switch over on our streams and see what we can get. Okay. So right now what we're seeing is, I mean, pretty dry conditions, with the exception of like the East Coast and the middle of the country. We also do have the influence of monsoon season across the desert Southwest, but it's pretty dry over the next several days. So you're right to touch on that. And cloud coverage doesn't even look like it's going to help us.
Right.
It's there's a pretty strong area of high pressure that's going to hold. Skies are pretty clear, very blue skies over the next couple of days, with the exception of that early morning at the low clouds and marine layer, especially up along the coast. But 120 hours out, and there's just not much as far as any type of moisture. So very dry. And I
Very
think
dry.
it's one of those things that you have to be really mindful of because this is when it gets super, like you said, dangerous for skin health, right? Like you're saying,
Yeah.
because of the UV, and also for the threat of fires.
Yeah.
Anna, this is like some really, any other great updates you want to give us?
Yeah. Well, saying that, so when you were talking about the dry conditions, I would say anything that's going to hide skin too. So my favorite go-to, I think I've shared this one before, but rose water, like a rose water to the face, and I
Yeah.
keep it in the fridge, and it's just a really good way to keep their skin nice and hydrated. So I have,
Anna, I need to like, I'm going to go ahead and stop this stream for one moment. It sounds a little choppy.
okay.
I'm going to check it quickly and I'll get back to you guys. This is what happens when you're doing live streams. There is no fear. We just are here to rock and roll, wake up with weather, come up with Anna and Erica. We'll be back in 2 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and play this back, check it, make sure everybody can hear everything really well. I especially am worried that they can't hear Anna. We're going to make sure we can hear her, and we'll be right back.